Hi guys, Alex here. Now that you've known about the rules of the game and also a little bit on Othello notations and special squares, before we talk about Othello strategies, I want to share with you about what I know about the Othello world and the different levels of mastery. So today we're going to be talking about how you can master Othello and the different approaches that you can take. Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about mastering Othello. So today's topics will cover the stages of mastery, the approaches to mastery, and some available Othello resources. So let's talk about stages of mastery. So based on my own experience, I would believe that the stages of mastery is largely split into 6 different stages. You have the beginner stage, the novice stage, the intermediate stage, the advanced stage, the expert level, and also the world-class players. So over here on the columns, you have the description, the Othello Quest rating, which is actually a software that you can play, the Japan Dan queue system, which operates from 7Q to 9 Dan, that is issued by the Japan Othello Association. And you also have the World Othello Championship points range that goes from 0 to 13 points. So at the World Othello Championship, in the preliminary rounds, you would actually play across 2 days a total of 13 Swiss pairing rounds. So let's talk about the beginner stage. At the beginner stage, you will be learning the rules of the game, and you would probably have a corresponding Othello Quest rating of somewhere between 800 to 1000. You probably wouldn't be able to achieve any Dan queue system within the Japan tournaments as a beginner. But in the World Othello Championship, if you're lucky, you might be able to score maybe somewhere between 0 to 1 point. As a novice player, you're aware of basic game strategies such as group, small, and insight. We'll talk about these game strategies later on in the future episodes. You also generally make few disflip errors in each game. The Othello Quest rating that you are expected to have is somewhere between 1001 to 1500, and of course, you will probably be able to achieve a Japan Dan queue of somewhere between 7 to 5Q. So how the Dan queue system actually works is that if you are at a Q level player, you actually start from 7Q and you work your way up as the numbers become smaller until you finally reach 1Q, being the highest Q level player. And then you cross over to the Dan level players where you go from 1 Dan all the way up to the highest being 9 Dan. So at the World Othello Championship, being a novice player, you would probably expect somewhere between 1.5 to 3.5 wins. So why is there a 0.5 wins? Because every win gives you 1 point and every draw gives you half a point. And of course, a loss gives you no points. So moving on to the intermediate player stage, you're basically aware of a basic mid and end game maneuvers such as attacking unbalanced edges or performing stoner traps. You possess basic ideas to utilizing certain openings as well. So an estimated rating would be a 1501 to 1800s for Othello Quest, and a corresponding Japan Dan queue of 4Q to 1Q. And of course, you will probably be expected to get somewhere between 4 to 5.5 at the World Othello Championships. I would describe an advanced player with a strong grasp of mid-game tempo and end-game strategies such as parity and diagonal controls. And you would also be starting to specialize in certain openings with more depth, and you would also be using software to review and learn from past games. So your rating in Othello Quest would be somewhere between 1801 to 2200. That would probably give you a corresponding Japan Dan queue of 1 Dan to 3 Dan. In Japan, they also call 1 Dan as Shodan. So at the World Othello Championship, one would expect to get somewhere between 6 to 7.5, and that would also give you a corresponding ranking at the World Othello Championship, on average maybe around the top 30 places. Next, we move on to the expert level players. So basically you have a very strong grasp of most mid-game and end-game techniques. You have one or more sets of specialized openings with very in-depth knowledge in them as well. So basically this further enhances your win rate. In Othello Quest, one would expect an expert player to be somewhere between 2201 to 2350. In the Japan Dan queue system, you would probably expect to be around 4 to 6 Dan. And at the World Othello Championship, you would expect yourself to score somewhere between 8 to 9.5. That would probably give you, on average, a top 10 finishing at the World Othello Championship. So finally, we have the world-class players. The world-class players are in a class of their own. They have a complete grasp of all mid-game and end-game techniques. They are familiar with most or all openings and able to use variations to their advantage. They are also able to self-derive best moves even when out of book. So these players generally range between 2351 to 2700s in the Othello Quest application. And in Japan Dan queue system, you would probably expect them to be a 7 Dan to a 9 Dan player. And of course, at the World Othello Championship, they would be getting somewhere between 10 to 13 points consistently. And anyone who scores 10 points and above at the World Othello Championship basically, more often than not, guarantees themselves a spot in the top 4 place. So let us now move on to talking about approaches to mastery. So I would actually classify players into 3 different types of players. They are basically the experimentalist. These type of players basically plays numerous games and learns from their own pattern recognition, be it the shapes or the cuts or any moves that they make. They learn the best moves from software reviews of games, but they also rationalize these best moves that are being recommended by the software to their own strategy and iterates continuously. Basically, they just repeat the cycle of playing and reviewing and learning. Next would be the generalist. The generalist basically, they learn general strategies from various learning materials such as books and videos. They do not really rely on any specialized opening and can basically play any opening. They mainly use self-learned techniques and self-derived moves. So these players are actually very versatile and they are able to think on the spot. So these players are generally better at slower paced games. Finally, we have the specialist. The specialist type of player basically learns specific opening sets with variants that deviates as early as possible. They try to control the opening line as early as possible into something that they are most familiar with. They iterate continuously within the fixed opening set to achieve depth over breadth. They are also able to go very deep in certain book lines to trap opponents in expected outcome. These players are actually the efficient players. They learn the game very quickly and they are able to achieve higher results, potentially, in the shortest amount of time. But at the same time, they are not as versatile as generalists and, of course, maybe the experimentalists. So let us now talk about Othello Resources. There are definitely many Othello resources available. And the first one I would like to talk about is written books on Othello. So even though the Japanese actually have many books written by many strong players, the one that is written in English and by and large readily available for everyone to read about would be the online book titled Brian Rowe's Othello Book. If you just simply do a Google on Brian Rowe's Othello Book, you would probably find that PDF file readily available. So that is actually a comprehensive book of basic Othello strategies that will give you quick tips to bring you up from beginner to intermediate level very quickly. If you're able to consume all the concepts comprehensively within the book, I would say that would easily bring you to a maximum level of an intermediate player. Next, online videos. There are definitely many online videos available, but nothing that has really been as comprehensive and extensive. And of course, Othello Academy is a YouTube channel that is intended to actually provide easy-to-learn lessons in Othello that will give you insights to building yourself to become an advanced stage player. So this is created by me, and eventually I do hope to develop this syllabus to support any player who is willing to learn the game to achieve an advanced stage player. So bearing in mind that I believe myself to be somewhere between an advanced and also an expert player, I would say that the materials I prepare is probably most suitable to bring you up to an advanced player. I always believe that Othello is 30% taught and 70% self-learned. So there are also online playing platforms that allow you to play against players across the world. So the first one I want to talk about is Othello Quest. So Othello Quest is written by Yasushi Tanase. I would say that it is by far the most popular Othello playing pairing system online right now. They basically allow you to play in 5-minute and 1-minute game modes. So as a start, when you are learning the game, I would recommend playing with the 5-minute game mode because 5 minute itself is actually quite a short time to begin with. So the reason why it's no frills is because they don't allow you to chat with your opponents, but it basically allows you to focus on the gameplay. If you're able to advance, you will probably find yourself paired against one of the world top few players as well. So another online playing platform that is becoming highly popular is eOthello. eOthello is a customizable Othello pairing system that allows you to play against players of your choice. But this is operated at a much longer thinking time than usual and hence encourages deeper thought out games. It also allows you to play non-traditional random openings to practice your basic skills. I believe these online playing platforms, with enough practice, actually is able to bring you to a highest achievable stage of an expert level player. Now let's talk about Othello softwares. So usually players, when they lose a game, they would actually review them in a software to try to improve their game. So one of the software that is popular is currently known as Reversatile, but formerly known as Droid Zebra. It is a strong program software that allows you to review past games. So I believe this would allow you to reach a maximum achievable stage of an expert level as well. Another Othello software that is recently developed is the SEO app. I believe this is one of the strongest programs available, and it also allows you to tap onto the database in the World Othello Federation to do player-specific research and analysis. With enough practice, I believe this software is able to bring you up to a world-class level player. Finally, I want to talk about coaching. If you are lucky to actually meet and to study under a world-class player, I believe somebody who has consistently been able to achieve the world top 4 stage would be able to give you direct insights on what it would exactly take to reach that level. So I believe coaching would also be able to bring you there. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed the session today, and we will start to talk about Othello strategies starting from the next episode. Thank you very much.